Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. We have got some great setups in the works today. Let's have a look at them. Let's get right to the charts. Quick look: oil holding strong, gold pretty choppy at the resistance just below 1800, and then Dow and S&P kind of ended flat. Nothing too exciting today. Pretty minor activity there. We saw trade balance this morning, basically in line with expectation. Looking for 44.1, we got 44.2, but it is a little bit worse than the 42.5, which is what we had. And Canada had their trade balance as well, which was just about in line with expectations as well. Coming up tomorrow and the last trading day of the week, we have PPI for the U.S., we have preliminary University of Michigan announcement, and then we have trade balance for China later in the day tomorrow as well. So not worried too much about the news announcements. We don't have anything too terribly exciting, but we've got some great technical setups here. The first one being the euro dollar has rallied very nicely last night, and this was a great reversal candle on the 4-hour chart. We have big support here just around, we've talked about this level 100 times, but just around 12800 is where we have big support. 200-day moving average, trend line, and so on. We get this big positive candle flipping things around, right here, and the euro ran all the way up to our support level, or resistance level that we're having a heck of a time getting beyond, which is 125. Good grief, I'm getting ahead of myself. 129.50. There we go. So 129.50 has turned out to be very strong resistance for at least the moment. That's also the top of the pivot range. But we did make a nice open and a nice run above the 200-day moving average on the 1-hour chart, and we're just sitting on it, consolidating on it here, which is around 129.25. What I am looking for is I'm looking for this daily to hang in here as well. If I just move this over a little bit, we'll be able to see that a little better. But again, this is 12900, just to kind of clarify that. Um, and what we're looking for is on this daily chart, we want to see that that level holds. We have this nice little reversal candle right here as well. We're going to close a positive candle once again above the 200-day moving average, once again above support at 12800. So this is the level to trade against now, and this is where my entry is coming from the next near-term support, which is 12900. So 12900 is where I want to trade from. Now we have a couple of options here. If we get some retracement down to 12900, just buy and get long here. We have the option of getting a stop all the way down here, which is going to put us, 75, 80 pips away. For those that aren't comfortable with that large of a stop, if this breaks back below 12900 by about 25 pips, then it's probably going to test this lower area, or at least get into that 128.50-ish area. So you can keep kind of a 25 to 30 pip stop just below this 12900. But I am very comfortable and confident with keeping, at least at this point, stops down just below 128. 15 for opportunities to get long right at around 12900, 12900, 128.90, right in that area, to take this up into the 130, 13100 area. So that's what I'm looking for. Again, I'm going to be looking to get long to buy the euro dollar at 12900. So be ready here, and again, we're trading it against that daily and 4-hour low, and overall low right here, which is just shy of 128.20. It's about 128.25 is where our low is. So that's where we're trading against currently. So that's what I'm looking for. We have pin bars, reversals, we get all kinds of things all over the place, but I'm looking for that to hold, and I'm looking for that trend line and that 200-day moving average to hold as well. Pound dollar, we had a nice little run up here. This one wasn't quite as exciting as the euro pairs, but it ran up here, and it's having a hard time at this upper resistance here. This is around 160.50. It just doesn't seem to want to break above 160.50. This is 45 exactly right here, and then 50, as you can see, is just right there. You can see that the candle bodies didn't really make much progress above that, and we've got this little high here. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, and if this stays below this high, which is 160, we'll say 160.55 is that high. As long as we stay below that, which I think we're going to be able to, I like shorting the pound dollar and looking for some runs to the downside here. So I'm just looking for that because I think a lot of these pairs are going to be in some retracement mode. I think the euro dollar's got some retracement. I think this pound dollar definitely has some retracement. Again, if it stays below this high right here, which we're only about 10 pips away from, and we've got some nice little short-term runs. We had a nice little reversal candle here as well, and the pound rallied up into the 200-day moving average, but it's struggling. This is our 4-hour chart, 200-day moving average, and it's struggling right there. And that's where I think we are, ready to get a little bit of retracement. It's broken out of this short-term channel on the daily chart. I think we've got a good chance of this kind of dipping down a little bit further, kind of giving us some initial retracement on this run right here. And then making a little bit of a push, remember, into our target at the 38% fib, which is 159.10. That's what I'm looking for ultimately for the pound dollars, 159.10. Current market price is about 130 pips away from that, give or take, and I think we've got a good chance of making our way down there. Euro yen did a very big rally, a huge rally in fact yesterday. This thing rallied all the way up off of the 100.10 area. We had a nice reversal candle right here, and then we tested that low once again, and away we went. You can see on the daily chart as well, very nice reversal candle off of this trend line, off of our channel, off of support right here, which is around 100.10, 100, area, give or take a few pips. This is all support, and this is all good area, and we're still having a hard time with this 200-day moving average on the daily chart. We keep not being able to open above that, and this is where this failure happens again. We get a little short-term reversal right here, and away this thing starts to head back down. So I would like to buy against this low, against 100.10. That's where I want to get long. Obviously, we're a little ways away from that. We're about 105, 107 pips. So what we have to look for is how far do we think this thing's going to be able to retrace. I think we've got a good chance of getting this at least halfway of the movement, 50% of this movement, get 50% retracement, and that's going to put us right around 100.80, 90, right in that general area. That's a spot to start looking for. But again, we're going to have 60, 70 pip stops to get below this 100.10. But overall, I'm going to be trading against this low and looking to get long on the euro yen and buy up into hopefully 10200, 10300. It's about time we start making it up into some of those areas. And so far we're finding a very solid bottom here, lots of support, lots of consolidation, and the pair just does not want to seem to break below that 100 mark. So I'm going to start trading this thing on up through these levels. We've got some lower highs here, but we're staying in the channel nicely and staying above support. So that's what I'm looking for on that euro yen, to get long, trading against 100, once again trading against 100.10. so the closer we get to that entry, the better off we are. So be patient, wait for some retracement, so you don't have to have a 70 or 80 pip stop, but I'll be looking to get into that with some larger stops below those levels. Aussie dollar is getting a little choppy. You can see here that the Aussie dollar is really bouncing along support right here. I still think the Aussie is going to break support, but it hasn't given us a big reason to completely verify that just yet. So far, we're kind of crawling up this. We had some nice little resistance here, some nice resistance here, and it's just kind of running there. So I'm probably going to stay away from the Aussie for today, maybe, and just see how it pans out. And we'll see if some things pop up later on, in the day, later on tonight, and so on. Aussie yen gives us an interesting position. This Aussie yen right here is currently giving us a little bit of an opportunity to get some reversal off this choppiness. We have a nice little reversal candle on the 1-hour chart, nice reversal candle on the 4-hour chart, coming off some of these upper moving averages. And in this daily chart, looks very similar to the Aussie dollar. So we have big support just below the 80 mark. We're at about 80.35, 37. So just below that, this thing is set to break and make a big run. But we need to probably wait just a little bit and see what we see happening on the Aussie. So Aussie pairs, Aussie dollar, Aussie yen, I'm going to stay out of just for now and kind of let those start to work their way out. We have big support, 30, 40, 50 pips below current market price, and just want to kind of focus a little more of my attention on euro dollar, pound dollar, euro yen. We have great setups on those guys currently, so be ready for those. More information coming out on Twitter. Keep your eyes and ears open, and mark these levels and make sure you're ready for the movements, and I'll send out a few reminders as we start to get closer to these levels. Best of luck, guys, and I'll see you in the chat.